Welcome back for another video. What are the best managers around the world doing this game week? Which chips have they got active, if any? It's a free hit special this week, but it's not the only chip active in the Experts League. And if you don't even have a chip active at all, we've still got you covered here. Brian's retained the top spot in the Experts League despite a pretty underwhelming bench boost. I know a lot of people were in the same boat. 80 points all out he finished on, which took him up to 711th in the world. Guy W just a couple of points behind him in the Experts League, and he's top 1k as well. There's 12 experts in the top 10k at this stage. We've only got 5 game weeks to go to press on to get those ranks that we want to finish on, or mini league places. This week, only 7% of the experts are rolling, 3% making 1 transfer, and the same making 2. 5% making 3 transfers, the same amount making 4 transfers as well in fact. There's quite a few hits active as well for those that aren't on a free hit this week. But 75% have got the free hit chip active. Obviously, given it's a blank game week, it's a logical place remaining to use it. There's some nice fixtures this week to target. Gameweek 36 could work well as well, depending on how it plays out as a double game week, but we're not going to know until after the deadline. So, who are they buying and selling? It's a slightly different list this week. Basically, the left side is who they're all buying, and the right side is who the non-free hitters are selling, because obviously it's not that useful to see a list that's got players like Marmoush heavily sold, when obviously the non-free hitters are planning to keep him. So with that all in mind, the number 1 name is actually 8 Nori this week. Obviously a defender in FPL, but he plays incredibly advanced whenever he gets the opportunity to roam down the left wing. 75% buying him. His average position was about as advanced as Cunha last match even. He's top among all defenders for XGI over the last 5 game weeks. Over that spell, Leicester are worst in the league for expected goals conceded as well, and they're also worst for expected goals. So the targeting Wolves here is 8 Nori number 1, and it's Cunha number 2, 73% buying him. Strand Larsen actually doesn't even make the list, which is quite surprising given his form. 17% are buying Strand Larsen. Something we're going to have to weigh up is whether Cunha definitely starts again if Bellegarde's back from his injury. I mean, Wolves did play really well without Cunha during his suspension and recent benching. Palmer and Luis Diaz are joint third, 58% buying them. There's been a lot of discussion on Palmer versus no Palmer on a free hit this week. I mean, he's got Everton at home, which isn't that bad. But yeah, over the last 6 games, something that's worth pointing out is that Palmer's registered 3.79 XGI, which is 4th highest among the midfielders. That's behind Salah, Barnes and Diaz. So he's also been a bit unlucky with the blanks. The Palace mids are the most sold this week, Eze and Sarr leaving lots of non-free hit teams. As is Saka, who only came away with 2 points in the double game week, really disappointing. I mean, he only got 86 minutes across the 2 games, but 1.57 expected goal involvement, so he should have had at least a return as well. The thing with Saka is Gameweek 35 comes either side of their Champions League legs in the semi-final, and we're expecting Liverpool to seal the Premier League title this weekend, so in a nutshell, there's absolutely nothing left to play for Arsenal in the league, and that could unfortunately potentially equate to Saka's minutes being heavily managed. Like, what's the point in overplaying him? 48% are willing to gamble on assessing on start. He has started 3 in a row, though they have lost the last 2. It's worth noting Chelsea responded with 2 goals after he'd left the pitch last match. Until then they were 1-0 up, and he did assist the goal. I'm not sure if anyone else feels the same, but it's not a comfortable feeling when you've got a bunch of players that aren't 100% nailed on your free hit, like Cunha, Raul, Luis Diaz, Sessegnon. They are not totally guaranteed to start, but they're really high upside picks, so you can understand picking them. 30% are going for Trent as well, who's another one. He did score off the bench last match. I mean, it could be him or it could be Bradley that starts. But it's safe to assume that the experts are predicting a Trent start, given how many are buying him. So, a few chips active this week, not just the free hit either. We've got 77% on a free hit, but a couple of wildcards are active, and a couple of assistant manager chips active. So there's very little unused chips now for the run-in. However, there's one manager who's doing really well in the Experts League, and he's got a couple of chips in his pocket still, FPL Fish. His free hit is active this week, and he shared his team with us, which is Pope, Trent, 8 Nori, Sessegnon, Barnes, Luis Diaz, Salah, Palmer, Isak, Raul and Cunha. He finished 1.4k last season as well, and he could be on course for another top finish with a couple of chips to go. Here's what we had to say. I'm currently ranked at 17k, 15 points away from the top 10k, with the assistant manager to follow in Gameweek 35 or 36, so there's no need for me to take any risks with my free hit team. I started my free hit by knowing I want 3 Liverpool as they'll win the title against a rotated and broken Spurs. Salah, Trent and Diaz seem the best 3 for this week. Next 3 comes Newcastle, and there it becomes trickier. Isak is clear, but which midfielder is a challenge? Barnes has been in great form, so I'm going with him. I ended up with Pope as my 3rd Newcastle player due to the attacking defenders available elsewhere. Wolves and Fulham have both got great fixtures against relegated teams, so I'm doubled up on both. Sessegnon looks a steal as a 4.1mm defender, playing right wing, while Ait-Nouri is often in advanced positions as well. Cunha and Rao are both penalty-taking attackers who look set to start, and that leaves me with 1 spot left, and I'm going for Palmer. Chelsea haven't been at their best recently, and neither has Palmer, but the potential is always there for him to get a huge score, and he won't be in too many teams due to poor form, but Everton will be weaker without Tarkowski. James from Planet FPL made the great point that non-free hitters won't be able to bring in Liverpool and Fulham players this week due to their fixtures for the rest of the season. Even though my free hit may look template and boring, there's enough players out there without a free hit that won't be able to match it. Some amazing tips in there, thanks very much Fish. It's a valid week to wildcard as well this week if you've used your free hit, especially if you're short of getting 11 players out without using the free hit. Stephen Hinch is one of the experts who's got his wildcard active, and it's his last chip of the season in fact. His team is Pickford, Trippier, Howson, Trent, and Mbeumo, Bowen, Barnes, Salah, Isak, Wissa and Cunha. He's kept Martinez, Rodgers, Vardy and Milenkovic on the bench, 3 of which of course blank this week, and he said to follow him. I would love to be wildcarding in Gameweek 35, but I forced myself down the 34 route because I was desperate to get some City players, plus Saka for the double, which has been a massive disappointment. So here I am on 34. Currently ranked 121k with a top 50k rank the aim, but mainly just want to win my mini leagues, which are all as tight as the race for Champions League football. The squad I've built is trying to target the bottom 3, plus Man United and Spurs due to European commitments, while also leaving myself flexible for the double, however it pans out. In terms of the individuals in the squad, the picks that excite me are Trippier and Barnes over Murphy and Livra, and then Trent and the Mbeumo Wissa double up. Players still under consideration are Palmer, Kluivert, Ait-Nouri, and maybe some more Man City cover on the bench for the double. I kind of hope there'll be some major news this week to shake things up. Maybe Haaland back in training will do the trick. It's honestly all completely up in the air for me. I'm looking for inspiration, so feel free to help me out in the comments. Thanks for sharing, gents. Good luck with the chips this week. That brings us to Gameweek 34 Captaincy. Who are they backing this week? 75% have gone with Salah, 22% Isak, and then Diaz, Cunha and Barnes captained by 1 each. As we said, just a point wins Liverpool the Premier League now, and they're playing home at Anfield. So yeah, it feels kind of like this could be a 3-0 type match, given Spurs have also got nothing to play for in the league themselves. It's a redemption arc closing for Liverpool fans, winning the league with no fans in the stadium during lockdown, but now they've got the opportunity to win it home at Anfield in front of fans. Isak's facing the 3rd worst team this season though in Ipswich, so it's absolutely a valid choice for captaincy. Isak and Salah are both about 53% chance of scoring any time this game according to the markets. Cunha 42.5%, Diaz 41.5%, Palmer 38.5% by the way, he's still up there. Looking at FPL projections this week, Salah's top with 8.5 points, Isak 6.4, Palmer 6.3, Cunha 5.5. Who are you going with this week? Salah, Isak or someone else perhaps? Onto the experts team for Gameweek 34, so the free hit template by taking the ownership percentages across all their teams submitted this week. And it's Leno in goal, it's Ait-Nouri, Cucurella and Trippier in defence, Barnes, Palmer, Salah and Diaz midfield, Cunha, Rao and Isak up front. However the bench is Sanchez and Mbeumo, Sessegnon and Trent. So yeah, I mean obviously you could start Sanchez and Sessegnon over Leno and Cucurella, that makes sense I suppose. We've seen lots of free hit drafts with the likes of Mbeumo and Trent starting as well, which is perfectly valid. I mean, they're all pretty 50-50 calls, so go with your gut if you've got your free hit active. Like, at the end of the day, it's a game, and at the end of the day, the chip lasts for 1 week, so why not back yourself and have some fun with the chip? I mean, if Sessegnon starts in right wing again, he's going to be a cheat code. 4 points for a clean sheet from a right winger is crazy. It's a tricky one, like do you go Murphy and Barnes but sacrifice your defence potentially? Or do you go with one of those midfielders and then include like Trippier, Cielo, Pope? The free hit template's got a mix here. We've got Trippier, Barnes and Isak. Experts, final thoughts and tips then. Here's what they had to say to you this week. FPL Fady says, triple captain and bench boost have been pure pain the last 2 game weeks. Hopefully the free hit actually results in some meaningful rank game. I'm targeting the promoted teams, Wolves and Fulham players, probably the biggest differentials to non-free hit teams, who have 3 Newcastle anyway. Maybe throw in a couple of Chelsea too, with Tarkowski out for Everton. Looking forward, I don't want to go overboard with double Gameweek 36, as blank Gameweek 37 will be tough to navigate without any remaining chips. FPL Sis says, call me Dolly this week, I'm going with the herd and I'm free hitting. I'm targeting the promoted teams, that feels the play. Double Wolves and Fulham feels right, but triple Newcastle's a must. Aside from that, fill in with Brian and Mo, there's your template for the week. The edge pieces feel minimal but crucial. 1 defensive spot, 2 attacking spots, good luck all. And lastly, Benny M90's opted for Welbeck on his free hit, but he says, Welbeck could make way if we get news that Muniz is out for Raul. Possibility to start Trent too, if we get positive comments from Slot. Thanks for watching. Before you go, hit like on the video and make sure you subscribe. It's completely free. See you soon for the next one.